RUC. But my dad was walking down the street and a guy pulled up on a motorbike, helmet on, started walking behind him, put his hand in his pocket, and luckily the guy my dad was with, the RUC man, put his hand around as if he was reaching for a gun himself. And whoever got off the motorbike stopped, turned around, got back on the motorbike and drove off. So he's determined that would have been it. And even things like, I couldn't, if we went in to visit my granny, I'd have to park the car at a roadblock, so they'd close the town centre at night time with big metal barriers, and they'd close the town centre and you'd have to park up and then walk in, and that was to stop people driving their car bombs down. But it doesn't happen now, and I think we were born kind of just as it was all sailing away. So, and hopefully it doesn't get worse again.
Yeah. For instance, you are aware that in the police service, RUC at the time, it was predominantly Protestant, so Catholics didn't feel they could work for the RUC, or that they would even get employed in the RUC. But now they've obviously changed it and they're trying to promote the people of Catholic faith.
You can't get in it unless you're Catholic these days.
It is, it's quite true. They basically don't employ you unless you're Catholic now, because they're trying to even up the numbers. A family friend who is 26, she has joined the police force. She's in it now 4 years, or 3 years, and she has been issued with a mirror, or a mirror.
That's
just a translation.
mirror.
It's a mirror on a stick, basically, and she has to check around her car before she gets into it every time, especially in the mornings. She has to look under the car in case somebody has seen her about, knows where she lives, has seen her car, and has attached a device to blow her up. And that's very real. That still happens today. People have to check their weapons.
I think we may have just single-handedly destroyed tourism.
But it's not. It's beautiful.
Has anyone any questions?
No, what have you talked much about, I forgive me, I'm coming late, about the positive effects of the Peace Treaty? I know you mentioned the RUC changing to the PSNI, the integrated schools we touched upon as well, but I think it'd be good if you've done it, I'm sorry, but to give a balanced view, so actually we can take some positive. You know, pre-97 it was huge amounts of paramilitary killings, soldiers being targeted. Post Good Friday agreements, that's definitely dropped off. So any of that, just to give them for the people there.
It's a change based to big.
It's more the atmosphere's changed.
Yeah.
Within Northern Ireland. We obviously have the reputation that we're quite a welcome and friendly kind of people anyway. But as in tourism has increased since obviously the Troubles have passed. Like, you can't go anywhere in Northern Ireland without seeing at least 5 or 6 tour buses coming out of a town at any one time. So there has been an increase in that, which is really positive for the economy.
I think, yeah, people in general, it's more a very small minority today that go down the route of paramilitaries, and the vast majority of Northern Ireland no longer sympathise with these groups because they see the Good Friday Agreement as something positive for both sides and something that both sides could work on. So the sympathy for the paramilitary groups is kind of dying away.
Yeah. With the education as well and the integrated schools, you have like myself and Mr. Bateman, where we don't hold those views. We're very progressive now. We want to do well, and eventually, I'm assuming we'll both move back to Northern Ireland at some point. So it's kind of, although there's no work at the moment, we're away here earning our trade. We will go back. So that's a good sign that people always want to return to Northern Ireland. So.
And kind of what's left of the paramilitaries isn't even really.
There's not a presence now.
Yeah, and it's not even that their cause has kind of disappeared. Now the paramilitaries kind of operate as police for their own estates. So let's say there's a big thing about taking drugs in Northern Ireland. Yeah. You're not allowed to do drugs because then you're a junkie, no matter what you take. Yes, the paramilitaries will sell you the drugs, and then they'll actually be the ones that round you up and shoot you in the kneecaps for taking those drugs. And there's a real thing. So if you were a young person and you stole somebody's car, you wouldn't be afraid of the police coming to get you, you'd be afraid of the paramilitaries coming to get you. So that's kind of where they're left at now. The cause and fighting for Ireland, I think the majority of people are quite happy. I think there's not even a Catholic majority now in terms of people, but I don't think they'd vote for a Republic of Ireland.
No, I think we're fully aware on my team. We're aware that it wouldn't benefit us to unite the whole of Ireland, because obviously if the Republic of Ireland aren't economically strong at the moment, so it wouldn't benefit us to merge as one. So we're quite happy to stay where we are with the United Kingdom at the moment. That's the general feeling, I would say.
But because rights are so much better, Catholics were treated terribly, but people have kind of tried to redress that in all walks of life, employment, just general atmosphere, representation in Parliament, or in Stormont. So most of all the things that were wrong in the past are kind of coming right now, and everybody's just kind of getting quite happy with Northern Ireland as a whole, apart from the young bored people.
And the Queen visited. That's quite an unusual
Yes.
thing to have happened.
Yeah, and there was no issues when she arrived there, which was good. I like me being from a Catholic family, but my mum's a Protestant. And so I've turned as a Jafflick, being orange Jaffa cake, and a Catholic Jaffa. Just have to explain it. So yeah, I forget what my point was.
The Queen set.
Yeah, like I love the royal family. I think they're great. I don't know if I'm even in the minority of saying that. Like we like the royal family, we support them.
Would the Queen have ever, or the royal family have ever gone to Northern Ireland pre-Good Friday Agreement?
I don't
Unless they had a very big security entourage, I doubt it. It's
I don't remember hearing of them.
So the attitudes have changed so much that actually the royal family are able to go to Northern Ireland without much threat of being a target.
Yeah, I would say so. And even people like Army, then they could never have revealed their identity. When on a night out, you could never do that because you'd be afraid of getting shot. But everyone knows who's in the army and who's in the police these days, and I think the fear is kind of there's an undertone there for the forces, but it's nowhere like it was. They're not targeted on anywhere near the same level. And I think I heard a stat that if you wipe out terrorism, Northern Ireland has the lowest crime rate in the world. It's just terrorism accounts for probably 95% of it. So I don't know if that stat helps. Okay.
Any more questions, guys? Yeah?
What would you say it was like hard to grow up as, like a Protestant or a Catholic? What is it like?
I would probably say a Catholic.
Well, I know in County Antrim, it would probably be harder to be a Catholic. Obviously at school, we had a Protestant school right across the road from our school, which was totally Catholic. And I had friends that they would literally stand on either footpath throwing bricks at each other. But I never took part in it. Stupid. But it's like, yeah, you would have a larger Protestant, community. So.
But yeah, a few years ago, and Catholics were historically not treated as well as the Protestants when the British came in. So I would say being a Protestant was better.
Yeah.
At our time anyway.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Go on, don't be shy.
You can't shut them up usually.
Yeah, go on, unite us. Go on, Ollie, give me a question. Go on. Unite the divide.
So were you ever in like a mini IRE or anything like that?
But guys I used to hang about at school did take part in it.
What
It's
sort of
very
stuff would
real,
they do,
like it's not, sorry?
What would they do?
They went round, as Mr. Bateman was saying, that they would go around people's houses, they would intimidate them, they would take them out into the street and, you know, do certain things to them which obviously weren't great. But they were circles of friends that didn't last very long. But yeah, it happened, it was real, you know.
A guy I knew got baseball bats across his legs just repetitively because he'd been caught smoking some weed, and he was in a paramilitary and they frowned on it, and so they brought him out the back of where they have their meetings, and just one of the other boys had to just keep hitting him with a baseball bat across the back of the legs. So it is real if you get tied up in it. It's the worst thing you could ever do. Your life would, they just suck you in and then you can't get out, and they control everything they do. So if they turn around and say, we want you to shoot that guy that lives down the road, your Catholic neighbour, you would have no option. And that's the long and short of it, because they get you in by saying, we'll look after you, and then once you're in, it's all intimidation to get you to do what they want. So there's a few dodgy characters still around.
So you think the future's bright and things just keep...
The future's orange.
So you think... I know, I'm sorry. But you think it is looking good just to continue
Yeah.
on this path?
The thing is, we're more educated now,
Yeah.
and that was the key.
Yeah.
You know, we've got careers now, so we don't want to ruin that first level.
Yeah.
And that's generally the feeling at home.
Yeah. And as you said, there's fundamental changes in policing, in employment, you know, equality and kind of social housing.
It's still got a way to go.
Yeah.
You know, there's still a lot of change still has to happen, but it's getting there.
Those foundations.
It's moving in that direction.
Yeah.
You know. But it seems like it was a long time ago, but it's not.
No.
You know.
Well, I think if you went to Northern Ireland today, you would have absolutely nothing to worry about. Even the dodgy areas that traditionally